So this channel right here would not exist if I had not visited Amsterdam about 3 years ago when I was studying abroad in Europe. And what I noticed there, and you can see by all the bike lanes in Amsterdam, Amsterdam has a unique look on transit infrastructure. Bikes are everywhere. Let me just show you like a real quick comparison of the bike lanes on Google Maps in Amsterdam and zooming out, and Portland, which is one of America's best cities for cycling infrastructure, and a place that's maybe not as well known. I think this is a better view here. Kansas City. All right, Kansas City, Amsterdam. Amsterdam, Kansas City. You can see there's some massive differences when it comes to bike lanes. So today I just kind of want to take a closer look at a street level view into some of the bike lanes that you're going to tend to see in Amsterdam. So I'm going to start close into the city, and then I'm going to move out and show you what I think is one of the most amazing parts about Amsterdam is the rural bike lanes that you see way out in like rural country, right? We're not in the city anymore. We're in a rural area. And I think the interconnectedness of Amsterdam and the cycling there is what excites me so much. So I've got bike lanes feature turned on right now in Google Maps. I'm going to turn on Street View, and I'm going to identify some of the streets that are already mapped out. So let's go to this bike lane right here. See if there's a street view. Yep, it looks like there is. So let's take a deeper look. Okay, you see this? We've got a very narrow street, which means if you're going to have a car, it's going to be very small. You've got this entire area on the right, which is really looks like is that sidewalk? Yeah, it's sidewalk. I guess you could bike on it, but you probably, oops, looks like did I just go into a cafe there? You can just see how the bikes are dominating the city. Let me go to a different area, and let's take a look at this street right here, Roken. Okay. Look at all those bikes. So it looks like the traffic they're going to be contending with here is like you've got this main bike lane here, and then it does look like this is a train track. You see, I saw a car right behind us here, I believe. You've got bike lanes everywhere. And actually, what's interesting is you may not be really impressed by this bike lane right there, but you just see it's being widely used. Like there are no cars in the streets because it's worse to drive there than it is to bike or to take public transit. Let's look at another street view. Let's look at this lane right here. It's so cool. The information that we have at our fingertips. Okay, so this is a road that's a little bit more, that is definitely more trafficked. But again, you see, we've got the bike lanes on the left, separated from the auto traffic. Bam. I move way faster on Google Maps. So yeah, this stuff on the right, really just like a huge sidewalk, like massive sidewalk. All right, let's look at, let's look around the Rijksmuseum, I believe. Maybe I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, but the amount of walkers and bikers there. Do you get the picture? You know, you getting the gist here? Like, all right, look, bike lane, wide sidewalk, very narrow street, which means for one car, like the bike lane actually is almost as wide as the car itself. You're gonna have to, if you're driving, you're gonna have to be like much more cautious and slow your speeds down as due to the nature of the roads here. Bikes just dominate, and that means as a car, you're really the outsider. It's not the other way around. So let's take a look further out into the country as we identify some, like, I think this N212 place is kind of interesting. I think I've looked at this before. Okay, we're like in the country here. Do you see this? N212. And look at what this is on the left. That is a hashed bike lane. Let's see how far we have to go to find a cyclist. And it just goes. Oh, there's some cyclists. Look at them right there. They look, maybe like if they're watching this right now, it's crazy. This could be like mother daughter, sister, something. We've got Bigfoot out in the field there. But they just look so happy on their bikes. What's interesting, we also have a motorcyclist there, or like a person on a scooter using these motorways. So, okay, let's look at another street view of an more of like a rural road. And by the way, it's not just Amsterdam, it's The Hague, it's Rotterdam, I can't pronounce most of these. It's Utrecht, which I hear is actually amazing for biking. Let's just take a look. Okay. Bike lane. Really more like multi-use walking, biking. I mean, everyone has to be respectful of each other, but they've got it. They've got infrastructure for all. Yep, bike lane. Okay. Again, let's go rural. Let's go rural and see what's going on. Let's go as like rural as I can kind of find a bike lane in the Netherlands. I feel like if I go towards okay, how about here? N833. Riksstrak. Wow, gosh. You got to help me with the pronunciation here. Look at that. That is a painted shoulder. All right, it's not a dedicated bike lane. And you may argue, all right, what's the difference between this and like a normal road you'd see like in America, rural road? I think the painting really does help indicate to drivers that you've got to watch out on the shoulders, and it definitely invites cyclists to say, "Hey, you're welcome here as well." Again, that's in a very rural area. Let's take a look at this road here. This is okay. So this is like this is 1, 2, 3, 4 lanes, but then off to the right here, looks like I'm following this semi. Off to the right here, you've got a bike path. You can see it there. I saw a cyclist on it just a second ago. Let's take a look at another. Okay, again, I keep getting. Okay, Bernardsen. Okay, road. And this might be a road here too that cars can go on, but it's probably very low traffic. And you see even out in rural areas, you've got, I think those weren't bike paintings or hashes. All right, let's look at another. Look at, where are we right now? In the middle of nowhere. And you got bike lanes. These aren't separated, but nonetheless, I just want to go to Amsterdam. And okay, how much I can't make this video more than 15 minutes because I can't upload, but I'm just gonna keep looking basically around the Netherlands at these. It's just too cool. Okay, here we are. Is that a road or just a bike lane? I can't imagine like a car. I mean, it's definitely a one-way street, if anything. Oh, light turned off. Okay, let's keep looking. Street view. Okay, we're over here. Heights National Park. Let's check it out. Street view. Okay, this road here going to Otterlo. Main Street. Bike lane. This is like making me emotional to see this. I'm like, cyclists here get the same treatment that like an automobile would in America. Here's this beautiful bike path going through this park. It looks like desert almost, but I don't think it is. I think it's just the Netherlands. It's just terrain. It's just how the world changes as you move through it. Um, let's take a look at terrain at large in the Netherlands. So, like, if we go to like Germany, you can see there's a lot of. It's very hilly, pretty much all around Germany. Um, there's definitely some flat areas here. You go into like the Alps, and that's some terrain. But the Netherlands in overall is fairly flat. Like you even look at like the most terrain it looks like is like down here, the National Park Velozoom. And this is rolling hills that wow. Are you kidding me? There's just like a purple flowered prairie with a horse there and this people walking and a beautiful mushroom and a what's that? Oh man, that's awesome. Let's see if you could like let's see what the bike lanes are like around that area. So yeah, it's fairly flat. That was my point there. And which means for biking, like you're not fighting hills like a maniac. National Park Velo Zoom. Let's go to Street View. Okay, there's A50. Let's see what this is like. So it looks like this would be the bike capable lane there. In this here, oh, there's a cyclist, right? Literally, I had to click and there's a cyclist. Let's just keep going down it. So it's a straight road. This would be a great way to plan out a bike packing route in the Netherlands. Oh, what's that? Cyclists. And you can drive, so you can drive on this road, but you're going to be like prepared, I think, as a cyclist for it because it looks to be, it actually might not be a one way. I'm not completely sure. And again, the cars here, they just have to be aware of cyclists on the road. So yeah, it looks like there's a car park. Okay, let me find one more. N840, middle of nowhere, bike lanes separated. But bam, it is amazing. All right, so first of all, I think using Street View is a really cool way for you to explore bicycle infrastructure across the world. Clearly, we get a really cool look into the countryside, into the urban areas in the Netherlands. And as you can tell by the comparison between like Portland and between Kansas City, I mean, I didn't do any Street View stuff there, but you can see just how extensive the bike lanes are there. And I would like to do some more Street View stuff for those cities. But you can see just how amazingly built out and how much respect the Netherlands has for cycling, and it reflects in its infrastructure. I think that's a beautiful thing, and it makes me want to visit there again and just bring my bike and just ride everywhere. That seems really exciting. But all we can do is aspire and try to create a future that's better. And I think using them for inspiration ain't such a bad thing. So thanks for watching, everyone. I've got a bunch more videos just like this one on the channel. Take care. Pedals up.